Good morning, Mount Olive Church, friends of Mount Olive Church. Happy Saturday to you. Andrew Short here with you. Hopefully, you've had a good Thanksgiving. Full disclosure here, I'm filming this earlier than Thanksgiving. We're going out of town, but wanted to go ahead and make sure I got that done in plenty of time. So hopefully, I've had a good Thanksgiving. So hopefully, everybody's had a great time with family and got to spend some time with their loved ones and truly think about what you're thankful for. Could go on and name that for a long time, but Brother Jody's message there on Sunday, which was just a couple days ago now, but maybe a better thing. Maybe I should do this while it's fresh on my mind. But really good message. We were sick, and so it kind of fits into this devotion here today. But the short family was under the weather, so we stayed at home. But enjoyed his message there, getting to watch it online. So thankful for everybody that makes those online the ability to watch it online happen. Zach and John and all those guys that do that. Certainly it came in handy for us. So I want to do a quick devotion here for you this morning, Saturday after Thanksgiving. I'm sure everybody's pleasantly full and sitting around. So hopefully you get something out of this, but just being thankful, and not just being thankful, but it's easy to be thankful, I think, when you're sitting at the Thanksgiving table, you're surrounded by your family, for those of us that are blessed to have a full table of food and all that, it's easy to be thankful then. But I want to kind of focus more on, and Brother Jody talked about this too, when things aren't so good, when things are even going bad, and being thankful in those times. So this was the part Brother Jody was in. I went back just a little bit further, but Acts chapter 16, this is Paul, of course, talking here in verse 20, and brought them to the magistrate, saying, these men, being Jews, do exceedingly trouble our city. This is Paul and Silas here, and teach customs which are not lawful for us to receive, neither to observe, being Romans. And so verse 22 here, things get real, a lot worse than a cold or a flu. And the multitude rose up together against them, and the magistrates rent off their clothes and commanded to beat them. Verse 23, and when they had laid many stripes upon them. So here's, we skip through, or at least I skip through stuff in the Bible so quickly sometimes we don't really think about exactly what's going on. Paul and Silas are being beaten with rods and stripes. And when they had laid many stripes upon them, they cast them into prison, not a prison with couches and nice heating and air. We're talking cold, dark, damp prison, charging the jailer to keep them safely. Who, having received such a charge, verse 24, thrust them into the inner prison and made their feet fast in stocks. So bound their feet up. So they've been beaten severely by these people in the town they were in, trying to do good. They've been tossed into this cold, dark, damp prison, and now they've got their feet stocked up. So things are going about as bad as you can imagine. And so what's their response? And man, this hits me right between the eyes. I hope it does you too. Verse 25. And so Paul and Silas's response was not like mine, to sit there and pout, sit there and sulk, to say, why God, which is usually, Brother Jody made the point, usually our first response. Their response was they prayed and sang praises unto God, and the prisoners heard them. More on that in just a second. But they sang praises unto God. Isn't that amazing? That really convicts my heart to think of what they went through, and their first response was to sing praises unto God, that they were counted worthy for that. And so just kind of finishing up here, it's easy to be thankful when things are going good, when you've got the promotion, when your health's good, your kids are doing well in school, you're, whatever that looks like for you, things are going your way. It's easy to be thankful. But when you're thrown in prison and your feet's in stocks, when your family's sick, when you got a bad doctor's report, when it's hard to get the bills, when there's not enough food on the table, it's harder. But Paul and Silas did that. They didn't hum. I love this. They didn't hum, Brother Jody said. They sang. It wasn't just a little bit of praise. They gave God all their praise, even in the bad times. And that's a decision that I think we can make, right? I love the part that the other prisoners heard them. The other people in our lives, Brother Jody talked about this on Sunday, the other prisoners in our lives, not prisoners, the other people in our lives will hear us if we will sing his praises in the bad times. Now, if we're just humming them, sometimes they won't. What a witness that can be. Later in the story, the jailer was saved because of them singing God's praises even in the bad times. So that again, that's convicting to me. When things are going bad, I should be thankful still for the God of all the universe, the God that has done so much for me, and the knowledge that He will bring me through whatever it is I'm going through. The second part here, have a thankful heart even on the bad days. When things aren't perfect, when things aren't good, still have a thankful heart. My perspective, we talked about last week, my perspective of how good He's been to me, even if some little something goes wrong. God restore, here's my prayer for this week and this year. God, restore a thankful heart to me every day. Remind me how truly blessed I am, and remind me to be thankful for that every single day, regardless of circumstances. This was a quote from the proclamation that Brother Jody read from, and again, the pilgrims who had, weren't living the most easy of lives. They weren't kicked back on their couch watching football on Thursday. It was a rough time for them. But in this proclamation, this guy said, Bradbury, I believe was his name, render thanksgiving to ye Almighty God for all His blessings. This was a proclamation that he made, even with all the bad stuff going on, the hard times they had. Render thanksgiving to ye Almighty God for all His blessings. And so that's good for us. That's good for me. Today on this Saturday after Thanksgiving, a good reminder for me to render thanksgiving to God in all of my circumstances. So hopefully you got something out of that, guys. Let's continue to be thankful, even though Thanksgiving is over. Let's continue to be thankful this week and this year. So hopefully we will get to see you guys tomorrow at church, and we love you guys. Have a great rest of your weekend. See you.